Yeah, you're right, Rhonda. I had to catch up with the whole conversation, or else I would have started like 2 minutes ago. I remember looking at the screen like 10 minutes ago, said, "Oh, Rhonda's here." Wow, wow. It's going to be over on this side this time. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, sorry, got to drag you away from your conversation with Rhonda. How's everybody doing? Yeah, I was going to be about a minute late, but then there was conversation. I had to catch up, figure out what you were all talking about. So that took another couple minutes for me to catch up. I'm glad you liked the murals one. I like doing that one too. That one wasn't actually a very successful video. Not a lot of people watched that one, but I don't know. This is sometimes about what interests me, and maybe not everything that interests me interests everyone else. So we'll just play it by ear. I'm going to do what I like to do. Excuse me. It jump right in front of the camera. I was thinking about posting all those pictures on Facebook, so you'll be able to get them there, Rhonda. I was going to do that. I was going to automatically set up, and I forgot. So I'm glad you reminded me. We'll put them up on Facebook. If I don't, nag me about it, okay? Because I meant to put those pictures up anyway. Well, that was kind of the name of the article. It was actually top 11 murals that you want to get photos in front of, or get selfies in front of, or something like that. But one of them was closed, so I just did a top 10, and then of course I added my own some of my own favorites. Mom's doing good, doing her thing. They were getting some rain a little bit ago, so they're. I think she's getting a little tired of that. She likes the rain like I do, but unlike me, I think she can get burned out on it. That's not a very good Christmas present. I might at least see if I get my money back. Had the water in the freezer a little bit longer today, so there's a little bit more ice than usual. Charlotte says she made mommy chicken soup. That's good. That's a good thing, Charlotte. Chicken soup solves everything. Well, we're glad you're doing better, but that's a drag. Oh, it's raining in Florida, huh? That's a trip. That doesn't usually happen around this time of year, does it? Let's go look here. Let's see what's going on here in Florida. I'm not seeing a lot of rain in Florida right now. Maybe I read that wrong. Was it raining in Florida? Yeah, okay, okay, off and on this weekend. Okay, because I'm looking right now. It's not raining right now anywhere in the state that I can see. Oh yeah, Bite's here. He's just chilling. Yeah, I heard that Disney's laying off a bunch of people. Man, I'm glad I abandoned that Titanic. It's been sort of cold the last couple of days, not negative 26, but we're flirting with the freezing temperature a little bit. It's supposed to be in the upper 50s today, so not necessarily a bad day to be out. But yeah, we got wind here too. I don't know if anyone I know got laid off at Disney, but they got to start being a family channel again. Go back to their roots. Don't forget WD-40, Connie. Yeah, yeah, those are some fun sculptures, and are those fun murals. And even that one that was in that whole block that was a lot of advertising and stuff like that. There was still that one that had like all the movie characters in it. It was really good. That was the one I shot the photo in front of. Sunny with a slight chill in Canton, Ohio. All right, yeah, it's sunny out here. It's a little cold out, but it's not even noon yet, so we're supposed to be warming up a little bit. You missed your kitty, yeah, because yeah, I'm guessing they don't allow cat visitors, do they? Yeah, I heard 24,000 last time, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's 25,000 now. That was a bad earthquake. Like less than a week ago, wasn't it? So it should still be on the maps here. Let's see if we can look at this thing here. Hold on a second. Let's see. I got to find my app here for that. That one. Oh, okay. No, this is just recent. I'm looking at it, it says 5.2. That's not a very big earthquake, but that's an aftershock, and that just happened like 43 minutes ago, according to this. Let's see here if I can see something that isn't recent here. Let's go to another app here. Hang on. Let's see. Where's the home button on this? Yeah, I'm not gonna spend time on that. It was a big one. Can't fix stupid, but but duct tape can silence it. That is true. Yeah, I've heard that too. Unfortunately, in stuff like this, people tend to turn against each other, and it gets political and stuff like that. Well, that's what you run into. A lot of times the buildings aren't up to code. And so, an earthquake like that happening in LA, the buildings are designed for that kind of thing. No, I guess I didn't know there was one in Buffalo either. I don't know, like earthquakes. That's definitely one of the things I'm glad I left behind in California. They have some on the east side of the state, but they're little and they're mainly, I think, man-made. Yeah, it may be. There may be like ancient earthquake faults in that area that maybe don't move very often. You don't generally think of New York as a plate boundary because generally it isn't. The big plate boundaries are the San Andreas Fault, which go along the west coast of the United States, and the plate to the east of that goes all the way out to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. But I do think that there's something, there's like a plate boundary that's going down like around like Cuba and the Bahamas and down there in that area. Yeah, I guess cats are a little bit more independent. That's probably an issue. And you're right, my cats don't like going in the carriers either, because for them that means like you said, either the vet or one of the last couple of times they've been in the carriers is because we've been moving. There was an airplane ride in one of those, and then having to get used to a new apartment, and then getting used to that place, and then moving again, having a new place to get used to. Yeah, I don't want to be in a hurricane either. Actually, I have been in a couple of those. I think the thing I don't like about quakes that makes me prefer tornadoes or hurricanes is with an earthquake, you don't have any warning it's coming. It's just everything's fine and then everything's not. Tornadoes and hurricanes usually have a warning. The conditions are right for it, and there's warnings when it comes out. So in the case of hurricanes, you often know days in advance it's coming. You may not know exactly where it's going to go, but you can kind of prepare for it. I am well, Bill. How are you? Yeah, that's another thing. There's always people in California said that it's earthquake weather, but there's no earthquake weather. It's just people trying to find patterns and things. It's like, hey, last time we had an earthquake, the Santa Ana winds were blowing. It's like, yeah, I know, but the Santa Ana winds aren't causing the plates to move. Yeah, I'm with you, Connie. I've been through several big ones. I've been through Northridge in California. I was through Whittier Narrows in California, and Sylmar in the 70s. I remember that one. Not a huge fan. And the Northridge earthquake, the thing that was most famous for that one is there was that apartment complex in Northridge that literally pancaked. And the reason it pancaked is because it had two levels of dwelling on the top level and then a parking structure underneath that was just being held up by poles. And those poles collapsed and everything came down on top of it. Well, when Northridge happened, I lived in an apartment that was configured the same way. But for the proximity to the quake, I was 30 miles away from Northridge. That could have happened to me. Nuclear plant beside you is built on an earthquake fault. Yeah, well, that happens. Well, yeah, Santa Ana winds are blowing around. Well, they're usually done by now. They're usually done by November, December. But yeah, anytime from about August to December, you can get Santa Ana winds. They are kind of nice when it's night and you can be outside and it's 80 degrees and nice breeze blowing and all that. But it also whips up the fires and that's no fun. It's no good if you like to breathe. Yeah, I wish I was more into getting out and hiking in those days because it would have been fun to just go out and walk around during the Santa Ana winds. I did that a little bit, but not as much as I do it here. A few nights a week I'm out wandering around at 11 or 12 o'clock at night. It's so quiet here. No, everything's pretty much the same at work. Just we're coming off of our maintenance interval now. We began running test runs of the machines yesterday, uh, hopefully trying to get all the bugs out of them before we go back into full operation on Thursday. But yeah, they weren't running well yesterday. That usually happens after a maintenance interval because we make hundreds and hundreds of adjustments to these machines and repairs and modifications, and some of them are pretty sophisticated. And so it sometimes takes things a while to get recalibrated again. I am well, Dippity Doo. How are you? Yeah, pounding the vodka. That's what we got to do. I got to have the courage to go on with the live streams here. No, the girls are reading the comments now. That's great. So keep it G-rated, everyone. To make any New Year's resolutions for 2023? Um, no, not really. Just to survive to 2024. Yeah, we don't want to have to explain anything to the girls. This isn't that kind of channel. Yeah, did they ever mellow out a little after their surgery? Charlotte says they know stuff. Uh-oh. Now we're in trouble. Maybe Charlotte can educate me. And Logan says I'm not the baby. That's funny. The lights floating around in there. That's pretty good for 20 minutes into the live stream here. I'd like to. It's just going to be, I don't know, it's going to be a financial issue. I've got a little bit of a savings, because I've had a 401k for years. And when I hit 55, I transferred that over to an IRA. And I have a 401k that's doing pretty well in the company I'm in. But I'm not thinking of retiring at this point. How's Flash? Flash is in the garage right now, hibernating. It's been a little cold for the last couple of nights, but I think I might move her out today because we're still, I don't have a problem with it being in the, mid 40s or something like that, because then she's in her box and that's okay. But when it gets into the 30s, I move her into the garage. And that's where she is at the moment. Might be nice enough for her to go out today, though. Probably won't, though. She'll probably just stay in the box. I haven't heard about Beth getting a tortoise or a turtle yet. She was talking about it, but I don't know where she'd get one. But who knows? Maybe there's a tortoise rescue somewhere in the area. I know there's one supposedly here, like in Austin or something like that. Yeah, Beth hasn't been doing a lot on Facebook. Every once in a while, I'll see her post like one of these 7 years ago kind of posts. But for the most part, I'm not seeing her on that. I'm hoping to get her maybe to come visit me this summer. She's a teacher, so she can't do much during the year, but hopefully I can entice her to come visit for a few days. I don't know. This is a shirt that I just had for a while. Basically, on the back, it's got the same image. Let's see, what does it say here? I can't even read it here. I don't know. It's a shirt. Yeah, I think the trolls have gotten bored with me. I haven't seen one in a while. Yeah, on the back of the shirt, it's got that same image, only larger. Any vacations planned? I'm gonna have to see what happens on that because all my vacation time basically got paid out to me at the end of the year. The company decided they don't want us carrying vacations year to year anymore. I guess to get so many people that have got weeks and weeks and weeks of vacation that they haven't used in years and years and years, and you know, you take the girls to an aquarium this summer. Aquariums are a lot of fun. I sometimes wish there was one here in Waco. I'd take you to go see that. I mean, I guess there's all that stuff at Cameron Park Zoo. I gotta go there again, don't I? Going to Oregon. Okay, all right. That's halfway to Texas. So what's for dinner? I got some sausages out of the freezer. I'm gonna put those on the grill. I want to try all those mustards that I bought recently at that farmer's market. give it a real taste test here. Because you remember I bought like what 3 or 4 different kinds of mustard. I've almost eaten all the blackberry syrup. That's good. And I went to another place last week and got some more hot sauce. So I might have to build a bigger rack. Yeah, I heard you talking about that, I think on Facebook, that you got an air fryer. I've thought about it. It's just I've got so many kitchen utensils right now. I don't know what I'd do with something else. Everybody seems to love theirs, but you know what? I love my Instant Pot. I've done ribs in the instant or on the smoker. There's things that you can do that take a lot longer than that. You remember a couple years ago, I smoked a turkey on that thing. That took forever. But yeah, you can do ribs on the smoker. In fact, when I went and did a meat run couple weeks ago or so, I that was one of the things I got was a rack of ribs. So we'll be having ribs at some point. Yeah, exactly, Elvis. I mean, I don't really have any more cabinet space. Yeah, Instant Pot. After the microwave, my Instant Pot is the most common kitchen utensil I use. You can do so much in it. Like there's a recipe coming up at some point, probably this week, where I did a steak in the Instant Pot. I don't think I would do that again. A steak needs to be on the grill, but I wanted to try it, and the problem is it kind of made the meat kind of turn into like stew meat. So I mean, it was tasty. It's just it didn't have the good steak flavor and consistency. It was more like stew meat. But that's the whole point. You got to find out what works and what doesn't work, and that's one of the things maybe that doesn't work. It tasted all right. It's just not exactly for me. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, Rhonda. Too many too. Yeah, exactly. It was like a pot roast. That could be an issue too, Rhonda. Yeah, I mean, I that was one of the things I looked for was a place that had nice amount of kitchen cabinet and space and good sized kitchen. And that was a nice one, but even then, I've got limits. You got 2 Instant Pots. Nice. Yeah, I just have the big one. I figured we'd go with a big one because a lot of times when I'm going to cook something, I'm going to cook stuff in quantity and freeze it. Use the top of your freezer as a countertop. On my house in California, I didn't have a whole lot of counter space either. And so I like quadrupled it by, building my own counter space, kind of like the table behind me with the train on it. It's made out of oak, and I basically ran like about a 40-foot section of one wall. One of them was a bar table, for eating on, but could be reconfigured very easily for like serving and counter space and stuff like that. And another was actually dedicated counter space. So, when I sold that house, I mean, that had tons and tons and tons of counter space. The counter is 5 foot long and has a sink in it. Yeah, yeah, I get it. My mom's counter in her house in California was the same way. Just not enough space in there. You got the large ones so you could do my ribs. That's great. Yeah, that was an excellent recipe. Yeah, it was sort of a galley style. I had a small little table that I used, but I'd been deciding for a long time that I wanted to replace that table because there was like a big hole in the wall where you could look out into the living room. And so what I would do is I'd sit there and watch TV or something like that while I'd be sitting on the having a meal or something like that. It was really convenient. And then finally I decided, rather than sitting like this and cocking my head to the side to see that I ought to just make a countertop along the top of the or right along where the hole was and sit there with bar stools because then I'm sitting straight ahead. And that worked really well. Two refrigerators. Yeah, I suppose that's an issue too. Yeah, I use my freezer all the time. My parents back when money was a little tight, they just hooked me up with a Costco membership card initially, and they bought me a little freezer and they said, go out and buy a bunch of meat and stuff like that and just put it in deep freeze. And I still do that. I've been through two of those freezers now, and I still have one. I also have a bar fridge and a nightstand in the bedroom for all that late night snacking, huh? Yeah, I mean, I got the little one on the refrigerator, and then, like I said, big one in the garage. And I mean, it's not a big one. It's probably, what, 4 feet long and about 3 feet deep, about 2 foot wide. That's my buddy. Okay, be that way. It's a little staticky here, isn't it? I'm rubbing you in and shocking your ear. Logan says it's your buddy, huh? Okay. Are you Logan's buddy? I suppose you can be both. Sometimes I think you're neither, though. Yeah, he's my buddy. Sorry, Logan. I'm claiming ownership. She just asked when we go get him. Well, you got to come to Texas first, Logan. Start making your mom say we want to go to Texas. We don't want to go to Oregon. We want to go to Texas. Yeah, I'm very happy I have the trailer. I've used it a few times, and it's already saved me some money. So yeah, I do use it when I put more soil in the garden beds a couple of weeks ago. You know, I brought all that soil home in one trip on the trailer. That would have taken 3 or 4 trips if I did that with a car. So got more done in less time. When I got the new dresser for my bedroom, that was something that would have cost extra to have shipped home. And they called and said, "Well, we got the thing in stock, but we don't have someone to drive it." And I said, "Well, if I bring it home in my trailer, can we do that?" And I said, "Yeah, you'll save some money too." So that thing is starting to save me some money, and I'm glad I have it. I don't use it all the time, but it's nice knowing it's there. Although the guys at Home Depot were laughing at me, they said they've never seen a car that had a trailer on it. Yeah, just shop around for a good deal, if you're going to get one. I was looking at what Harbor Freight or something, and they had what they called a folding trailer. Basically, it folded up. And, I was concerned about that because, like, I prefer, if a trailer, it's got to be a rigid frame. But if it's something that folds in half and then folds in quarters, that's going to be a weak point. And you're going to be driving it someday and, it's just going to it's just going to come apart or something like that. At least I think. I don't know. That just, yeah, okay, it'd be nice to fold it up and put it in the corner of the garage, but I got it in the backyard. That's fine. Flashlight sleeping under it. I got mine at Tractor Supply Company, but Home Depot had them too, and that competitor that shall not be named, they have them. Yeah, Flash goes under it, or she'll kind of pull right up next to one of the wheels, almost kind of be like a wheel chock, and because she likes to pull into a corner when she sleeps. And so that's someplace that she'll go when she wants someplace to chill. Yeah, well, you screw me once, that's the end of it. Well, and they didn't even screw me once; they screwed me like 3 times. So yeah, they'll never get in. They'll never get any more of my business. If I have to go to 12 Home Depots to find something, I will. One down, one to go. Got to get some L-shaped brackets for a shelf. Yeah, yeah, you can get those at Home Depot, definitely. I've done a bunch of shelves in here, including that thing there, including the cat's room, including rebuilding this thing here, above the window. I had to put shelves in there, the shelves on the entertainment system, the shelves that are holding the speakers in place. You'd say I'd become a shelf expert. I'm not going to say that. I mean, I liked Lowe's before. Lowe's, I always thought that they were a little bit more artsy than Home Depot was, and so you could find some more like you know artsy fartsy kind of things there, as opposed to Home Depot, which is more industrial, I think. But And I never really had any problem, with something that I want. If I needed something in the store, I could go and find it and buy it and walk out with it. Then I was fine. But when you have to get them involved in any way beyond that, you know, no such luck. I mean, the truth is now, I got a trailer, so I can bring most of that stuff home. So, the two first strikes could have been avoided if I had the trailer, because the first strike was when I bought the washer and dryer and barbecue and couldn't get them to deliver it. And they kept delaying it and saying, "Oh, it's COVID." Yeah, COVID was 6 months ago, and you should have that figured out by now. And so I ultimately ended up renting a U-Haul truck and bringing it home. But with a trailer, I could have just loaded it onto the trailer and brought it home. And the second thing was a lawnmower, and I couldn't, and they forgot to deliver that to me too. So I mean, this all could have still been avoided, I think, with the trailer, but it was over when they robbed me. That's just that's how it is. I'm going to revisit the kitchen cabinets at some point, but that just took it out of me. Maybe someday. Well, that was, I think, more of the problem was the bad customer service, especially with the cabinets, when they kept lying to me and then got to the point where they wouldn't even lie to me anymore. And then I started getting the runaround from corporate, and I said, "Oh, nuts to this. I'm done with you guys." But I don't necessarily think they're all that way. You talk to Jordan, Jordan thinks the opposite. He thinks the world of Lowe's and can't stand Home Depot. So, I mean, I've never had a bad experience at Home Depot. The only thing that ever happened there that I think was slightly negative was that I was originally going to get my trailer from them based on the fact that they had like a sign out in front, with next to the trailer say it was $999, and when I went to pick it up, it's like, no, that's $14.99, not $9.99. But they had a good excuse too. It's these are the signs that were just kind of sitting on the ground, and they had a whole bunch of things there, and their argument was, yeah, the wind must have just blown it from one to another. And I could totally see that. And it didn't end up, it just ended up being a minor hassle. I just ended up going to Tractor Supply and getting one. But and Home Depot did everything in their power to try and save that sale too. Yeah, that's what I think. A lot of times how the stores treat you, depends on the local people, the people who are running the individual store. And I think I just had some local people at this individual store that were incompetent. Whereas Home Depot, it's never really been a problem. I've been to Menards too, but we don't really have a Menards around here, I don't think. I don't know. Let me look. Let's see, how is that spelled? Just what I thought. Store locator. Yes, it doesn't look like there's any of them in Texas. See where the closest one is. Yeah, it seems more of a north central United States kind of thing. Yeah, I would never go with like Alexa or any of those things. In fact, um, I get worried about this thing. This thing I'm convinced is listening to me because I'll be talking to somebody about something and all of a sudden ads for that something will start popping up on my Facebook profile. That's not a coincidence. In fact, I saw Jordan's mom post something on Facebook recently where she said the same thing happened to her. She was just talking to somebody and all of about a company, and all of a sudden that company pops up on her Facebook profile. I don't know. I don't like the idea of listening to me. That's kind of creepy because what kind of data are they collecting? You never know. I mean, if I want to look up a certain something, I'll look it up. But I don't want you spying on me and then sending me ads based on what you're hearing me talk. Yeah, Yvonne, that's the same kind of thing that's happened to me. I'll talk about some obscure company, and next thing you know, you're getting ads from. Let's do a little test here. I'm going to hold the phone right in front of me. It isn't on. I haven't pushed any buttons, but I'm going to mention a company name, and I want to see if I start getting ads for it. One of the companies I used to like to go to was Sears, and one of the things I liked about Sears was their Craftsman brand tools, and uh, and so I have a lot of Craftsman tools, and I've been a huge fan of that for a while. And let's see if anything pops up on my Facebook profile. Mentioning Craftsman tools. If they do and it happens after the live stream, I'll put it on the Facebook page just to let you see. But I would bet you within an hour or two, Facebook is going to start feeding me Craftsman ads. Just a little test. Yeah, Sears basically did go out of business. I think they still have an online presence, so I may start seeing ads for Sears too. I know that Lowe's, that company that shall be unnamed, has picked up the line. I don't think it's anything anyone is listening. I think the machine is listening to it, translating what I'm saying into text, and then putting that into my profile. Yeah, when I used to babysit Jaw, I'd bring Jaw to Home Depot too with me. He loved going around because there was always dogs in there. Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense that the cell phone would be doing that because it already has that technology. I can already talk to it and tell it to do something. Here, I'll show you. Set timer for 20 minutes. 20 minutes, starting now. See, I mean, so it's already got speech to text capability. No reason to say that, it couldn't be taking text messages of what it hears me saying when I'm not talking to it and sending it back to Facebook or to Google or whatever. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I've seen that too, Rhonda. And like I said, we're gonna see if it happens. If it does, if I actually do start getting either Sears or Craftsman ads, which I haven't seen any of them on my Facebook profile in some time, then we're going to know that somebody's listening, and I will post it definitely. Who knows? We get some Lowe's ads too. Although I've tried to make it clear to them, I'm not into Lowe's. Every time they do put a Lowe's up ad, I tell it to, I don't want to see that ad anymore. Don't want to do. I don't want anything to do with them. I'm doing the same thing with Disney right now. Anything that mentions Disney, I'm saying I'm not interested. I'm over them. Well, I mean that might not mean anything, Gene, because we always talk about food in restaurants. Disney's going it down fast. You know what they say about the bigger they are, the harder they fall. But you can't even make the argument that this is about money. This is about wokeism because they're losing money hand over fist. Because people are canceling their service. They're not going to the parks as much. And nobody wants to see woke cartoons coming out telling their 4-year-olds that they can change their gender. It's getting out of hand, and it was doing that even when I was there. Yeah, but you don't expand your market by opening to wider groups if you're turning off your core audience. I mean, in the time I was there, they started allowing guys to wear dresses. I mean, that's just and identify by female names. And so you get this guy that's an obvious guy walking around in a dress there, and everyone's just acting like it's normal. That's why I like it when governors like DeSantis stand up to him. Yeah, the man bun doesn't do much for me either. I saw a funny meme that kind of described that situation, and it said, "Imagine being a wolf and looking at a pug and realize that you're related." And then it goes on and says, "That's the same way your grandfather feels when he looks at your man bun." Don't necessarily see a lot of that around here. I think that's more of a West Coast kind of thing. You decided to come and visit, didn't you? I would really doubt that. I would think that there were other dogs that are way closer to wolves than Shih Tzus. I don't know. What do you think? Do you need a bun bite? I think that would look kind of stupid, don't you? If you agree with me, just sit there and purr. See, told you. You think you'd rock it, huh? Huh. Oops. Gotta stop hitting the laptop. That's bad live stream etiquette. But then again, feeding your cats kitty treats during a live stream is probably bad etiquette too, right? Yeah, you're lucky your sister isn't out here. She'd be taking half the treats, huh? What about the brush? You like the brush too, don't you? All yours are asleep, so I shouldn't shake this then, huh? Should I do it? Should I wake up all of Rhonda's cats and dogs and skinny pigs and everything else? That would be a really evil thing to do, wouldn't it? Only a really evil person would do something like this, right? Sorry, I'm a really evil person. See, that's the only reason I do any of this stuff is to make Logan laugh. I don't know if I'd have the patience to be president. That was the goal, Rhonda. And not just your pets, everybody else's pets too. I will admit I've considered running maybe for something local, city council or something like that, education board. You never know. That's where they say you can make real change anyway, is locally. Wasn't enough to get the dog up, huh? It's like that sounded like food, but I don't know. Maybe not. I'll go take a nap. Yeah, that can be a tough time. I hear biting, purring over there, so he's down here somewhere. He didn't run back to his room when we shipped the treat jar. Didn't know there were dwarf Shih Tzus. Shows what I know. We're drinking a Dr. Pepper right now. All right, yeah, that's Waco. Stop by the Dr. Pepper Museum for that mural vlog I did because I had a couple of them there on the property. Yeah, I never developed a taste for Dr. Pepper. It was always too sweet for me. I actually want to go to the ghost tour in the Dr. Pepper Museum too, but they only do it on nights I'm working. Yeah, I've seen that pop up on my Facebook thing a bunch of times. Yeah, that's true. Maybe Dr. Pepper too. Let's see. Let's test our theory here. Getting a lot of ads on trains, so that's to be expected. Brother Well Brewing. I don't know how long it takes for the ads to start trickling in. Bob Mills Furniture, that's not surprising because I've done business there. I haven't done that vlog yet. I a restaurant vlog last week for a place called Slim Chickens, and Slim Chickens is appearing on my timeline now. So yeah, there's at least some evidence that it's happening because I'm sure the phone heard me talking about talking about it when I was eating there. Give it more time here. I'm sure at some point that will start appearing. I never got into Mountain Dew. I did when I was at the Dr. Pepper Museum, I think with Jordan at one time. I actually did get some because I figured if I'm going to get it anywhere, the best place to get it is right where they make it. But yeah, I still wasn't into it. And cherry Dr. Pepper, I don't like cherry Coke, so that's not going to do it for me. Okay, have a good day, Elvis. Enjoy the game. I, for one, am not watching it. I don't care. All right, Elvis left the building and Black Dot just showed up. How you doing, Black Dot? One steps out, one steps in. So you gotta love about this place. Everybody gets their chance. Yeah, I don't think in 2006, 2007 TVs are spying on us yet. I'm convinced that my cell phone does. And that's why I think that whole topic started when we started talking about Alexa on Amazon. And that's the reason I won't get that. You just shared something on the Facebook page. Let's see what we got here. Come on, get to the top. Oh yeah, I saw that too. I saw that the other day. It's a dog and a cat getting married, and they wanted to do traditions for both the groom and the groom and the bride, and so they have a fire hydrant and a scratching post on the right behind them. That's kind of funny. I didn't know Will the way Jordan knew him, but I met him a few times. I saw him at baseball games, and I got him and his son into Disneyland a couple times, I think, too. Yeah, that was a drag. I mean, it went so fast too because Jordan just mentioned it a couple weeks ago that it was happening, and I think he said at the time that the doctor said if you don't get into the hospital and do exactly what we say right now, you're going to be dead in 2 weeks, and that's about what happened. So yeah, Will was quite a guy. I'm especially sad for Will's son because Will's son was I don't know 4 or 5 when I knew him. And so he can't be much more than, 13 or 14 years old now. Imagine losing your dad, really the only person you knew, because I guess his Deuce's mom isn't in the picture. I don't know what the story is entirely, but now you've lost your dad and the man who's been your entire life. Yeah, I know that's a bad situation. Do the cats play with toys? Not a whole bunch. They're kind of old right now. Basically, they eat and sleep. Yeah, Jordan's friend passed away a couple days ago. Well, the train is sort of becoming a permanent fixture. It's still up there. In fact, just the other day I got some more track segments so I can extend it a little bit more. Um, that was when we were talking to the phone and I told it to start the timer. That was 20 minutes ago. Yeah, I'm not planning on taking the train down anytime soon. I still have fun doing it now that I got the whole thing working right. It's kind of fun to have. So the beauty is I can easily take it down if I get tired of it for a while and pack it away and all that. But return that table to what it is. But I got such a big living room right now. There's not really any reason that it can't stay up. In fact, what I'm kind of looking for right now is like a mural that I could hang along the back wall that would like show some mountainscape or something like that. So it would look like the background of behind the city is this Alpine mountain or something like that. But and we might do that at some point. Yeah, like I said, there's not really any desire at this point to take the train down. I like having it up and it's kind of fun to look at. And I turn it on and run it a little bit every once in a while. And I've got a third switch track on it now, which I just hooked up actually this morning. The track came last night or a couple days ago, actually. Logan wants one now. Yeah, well, that could be a little pricey. I mean, just that startup train with going in a circle, was a couple $100. Now you can get bigger, cheaper ones, I think, which maybe might be a better option. They got a cute Thomas the Train option over there. Let's see. So yeah, well, and these are Bachman brands, so they're maybe higher quality. You might want to, if you're going to get one to start off uh, for the girls, if you're serious about it, um, get maybe a larger scale, something that would maybe be a little bit more rugged for the kids. I do HO, and those trains are tiny, you know, but they have all sorts of different scales. Let's see here. They have G scale, O scale, S, ON30, HO, OO, and N. So let's see what G scale is. That the big one? I don't know. They seem like larger trains, but they seem like larger payout too. Because I'm saying $600-700. That's too much to start off. Yeah, withstand animals chasing it. It would have to be tough enough it could be derailed and not have a problem. I need overalls, a hat, and a kerchief around my neck. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go that crazy on it, but I've spent some pretty good money doing this because, like I said, It was a couple $100 to start the train off. And then I got the track extensions, and that was another 150 some odd dollars. And I bought 12 more straight pieces, which just arrived a couple days ago. And the power supply for the switchers and the little buildings that are on it. Now they were like $1.99 each. But yeah, I mean, I probably got $500 into it already. Easy. I just wish there was a place in town that was more focused on it. We got this hobby town place, but they don't really seem to have a whole lot of train stuff. I remember they had like one aisle, half of an aisle that had some train stuff on it. But they're also moving into a larger store, so maybe they'll expand that part of it. I'm going to wait and see what happens with them and see if they get a little bit more into the train. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of trains out there that you can put like little smoke pellets in or smoke drops in the smokestack, and the train will smoke. Mine doesn't do that, but there are ones you can get that do. Yeah, so far all I've seen on the trains has been stuff I've gotten online. Like I said, Hobbytown had one or two trains, and then they had like kits that were like Thomas the Train and stuff like that that were larger scale trains, but they didn't really have even some of the basics that you'd want to get at a hobby store if you were going to make that your serious um, serious part of your business. Well, I'm going to a company right now online called Train World. It's trainworld.com. Logan says Thomas the Train is for babies. Okay, well, you can get a better train, Logan. And there was a place that used to sell trains that where I used to live in California too. I don't think they're still in business. And then there's a place that my mom has told me about that my dad used to go to get like little village elements for his trains and for his Christmas village setup that he did every year. That was play I think called department56.com, and they got stuff too, but that stuff was really pricey. Unlike those little buildings I got from Walmart that were $2 a piece. Yeah, yeah. I considered Lionel when I got my started getting trains, but I saw the Bachman. It seemed like really quality stuff, and so far I've been very happy with the Bachman trains. I could see at some point getting a second train, having another train going around on the track. Get your NASCAR diecast from them, from Lionel or someone else. We've mentioned a couple companies here. Lionel, okay. I guess a lot of these companies do kind of diversify a little bit. So, when I think of Lionel, I think of trains, but if they're doing diecast, okay, if Jeff Gordon owns them, then I guess that makes sense. Sounds like a natural tie in there. You have so many die-cast NASCAR cars, huh? Do you have more die-cast cars or more Barbies? That's the $1 million question. Logan got a test car for her birthday last year. That's cool. Toss up. Don't know whether there's more Barbies or NASCAR stuff. Yeah, yeah, those trains aren't cheap. I guess it doesn't surprise me that you could buy the train parts and put it together yourself. Yeah. In fact, that Hobby Town place, they do a lot of RC stuff. It seems to be more RC cars than RC planes, but I think they have that too. And maybe that's because of that Hot Mac model airplane club thing that we have on the other side of the lake. I've done that a few times. Yeah, that's sort of what I think. Black Dot, you got to pay good quality, for good quality. And like I said, I've been very happy with the train. In fact, you may remember early on, I kept having problems with there being build up on the tracks, and eventually the train would stop rolling. That stopped happening when I increased the length of the track. I don't know why that is. I don't have any problem with that now. You nitro run cars, wow! Because what could be more fun than using the active ingredient in dynamite? Can't run them on the streets or sidewalks, so that's a bit of a drag. Meow, meow. You live close enough that you can hear the cars on the Fremont drag strip. That's fun. I guess if you're into that. Oh, but it's not there anymore. Okay. I live close enough that I can hear SpaceX firing rockets in McGregor. You like the roar of a hefty engine, huh? I have thought about getting like a drone. I thought that would be fun. I know Jordan was talking about getting a drone at one point. I guess he never did that. made a Barbie RC car. I figured that was going to happen. Yeah, I want to get one that's big enough that I could, fly around and get good quality footage for the vlog. I don't know. I don't have a problem geeking out about trains. Trains are fun. Yeah, yeah, you'd have to be careful where you fly it. But I would bet flying it over the river would be okay. And there's a lot of areas kind of out in the middle of nowhere where you could fly it around here. I bet you I could fly it around Cameron Park pretty well. Yeah, RC boats are kind of fun. The place that my parents and I used to visit for vacations was down in San Diego on Mission Bay called, well, at the time it was called Vacation Village. Now it's called Paradise Point. But we went there a bunch of times and they had a RC lake, RC boat lake on the property. It was, 400 or 500 yards long and probably 100 yards wide. And they just race boats out on this thing. And these really high speed boats would go, woo, woo, go around this whole lake. And it was amazing. Made me want to do that. Never got one though. Could paint a mural of Waco on the behind the train. Yeah, I mean, I could probably get a good, high quality, high resolution picture of like the downtown and get it printed out poster size. That would be pretty cool too. I don't think you want me painting on the wall though. At least not something that isn't a solid color. Yeah, Tesla's kind of one of those once in a generation inventors. It's interesting that he doesn't get more credit for what he was because he literally was an Einstein, a Galileo, a Leonardo da Vinci type, one of those minds. Yeah, that was in terms of Da Vinci. I think that was probably one of my favorite of the murals too. Was his Starry Night one. Oh, the one that one I discovered at the end that just went a whole city block and told the whole history of Waco. That was pretty impressive too. And that was one I just stumbled upon. Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, I get that mixed up. See you next time, Gene. Yeah, I didn't think that he would be doing that. I've not even really met her a whole bunch, but after what happened with his last girlfriend, I would have been a little bit more concerned about that. Because the trolls basically just broke them up. I only heard, but what I heard is that the trolls started going after his girlfriend personally, and she didn't want anything to do with that. And that was why I think he was kind of secretive about this new one. Unfortunately, when you get you start vlogging stuff like that, people think that that they have a right to reach into your life, and there's a reason you kind of have to keep some things quiet. Ron is doing a Mona Lisa cross stitch right now. Interesting. Yeah, well, I hope more people watch that one. That one's had sort of disappointing views here. Let's see where we are now on that one. That would be there. Apparently, I'm doing a live stream. That's news to me. Yeah, only 180 views though, but that's okay. I make the vlogs for me. If you like them, you can watch them. If you don't, no, you watch the next one. Yeah, that's the truth, Charlotte. I make them just for you and for my mom. And none of this is real. You're all just figments in my imagination. I'm just sitting here having a psychological disorder, talking to myself. Uh, Nana misses you too, Logan. You too, Charlotte. She has a picture of both of you on her TV. And big hugs and kisses back. Well, that's the way it is with most of you. I have no idea what most of you look like. So yeah, you may feel that I know you, but I wouldn't recognize most of you, and if I ran into you, I'd wake up one day and all my vlogs have disappeared. Yeah, right. Yeah, some of you have pictures in your avatars, but not all of you. Your short, big mouth blonde, everyone would know you. Wow. I see a blonde walking down the street that won't shut up. Say hi, Rhonda. Hi, Rhonda. Meow. 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 Look at the fur fly in here. No, I haven't seen Jeff. What are you looking at? Sometimes they have some sort of a potluck thing after church, so might have been something like that. Or maybe he was just on a groove with his sermon and still talking. Weather's really nice today. It's been cold the last couple of days, but it's nice and sunny out today. I think we're supposed to get into the upper 50s, so that's short pants and t-shirt weather here in Waco. I think they're just messing with you, Yvonne. Just saying, I think I'm convinced that most of the things that my cats do, they're just messing with me. Of course, I do the same thing too. I mess with them with a laser, and they get a bunch of neck exercise. Either they're just impersonating Stevie Wonder. I don't know. I haven't figured out yet. Yeah, the cats go after the bugs to get into this house too. Yeah, there was that ghost on that live stream. That's true. People still talk about that. You have one at work that turns on the self checkout machines. Huh. Somebody mentioned the Dr. Pepper ghost tours at the museum there. I want to do that at some point, but it always happens on days where I'm working. It's only on like Fridays and Saturdays they do it. Absolutely inconsiderate to those of us who work on Saturdays and Fridays. Well, you can go back and see what the Dr. Pepper Museum was. I did a vlog on it a few years ago, and when Jordan was here, he came through and did a vlog on it too. Two different versions of the same thing. Yeah, it's worth a look. I've been through it a couple of times. They got a lot of neat stuff in there, and it's kind of changed too. The two times I've been in there, it's been a different thing. A lot of the same stuff, but different stuff too. So it's kind of fun, I think, when museum tours like that mix it up a little bit. What are you talking about? These things? I don't see any other plaques up there. The other side of my head over here, then, because you got to remember everything's flipped for me. Right is left and left is right. Okay, yeah, this one It's an American flag with the Gadsden snake on it. The Gadsden snake is the flag that says "Don't tread on me," and it has a rattlesnake, uh, image coiled up, ready to strike. And then this one, I think, is about the NRA. Hang on, I'll take them down and let you get a close-up look at them. Might as well do that, right? Ah, feels good to get up and walk a little bit here. Oh, maybe we're not going to get that one down. That one's nailed in 2 places. But I like getting some of these like metal signs. I got those all over the place. In fact, if you the cover photo for the live stream today is a metal sign that I picked up with the state of Texas. There we go. Got that in there. Just if I'm going to show the other thing, I'll have to go mobile here. Hang on a second. Let's mute that so you don't hear me disconnecting all my devices. All right, let's go mobile here. So that's the other sign right there. Nice little NRA sign, kind of a cool metal sign. That's definitely going to trigger YouTube. I know they don't like it when you talk about guns. I got a few like gun related ones around here too. So let's just trigger YouTube all at the same time here. See, I got that one. Says we don't dial 911. And that one. When they come for your gun, give them the ammo first. And that's kind of fun. I got a whole bunch of things over here on this wall. You've seen a lot of that. This one was from when we went to, Jordan and I went to the Winchester Mystery House. I think I got this one in the same place. This is actually let's get the glare out of the way here. It's one about Winchester repeating arms, showing different bullet types. Something about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. When we went to Roswell. And my out of time California bumper or license plate from Back to the Future. Yeah, I got a few of those things. I like the little metal signs. They look kind of cool. Got to make my house look like a Chili's, right? But I get a lot of those things like when I go to like fairs and stuff like that. Oh, Black Dot's checking out. Thanks for stopping in, Black Dot. It's always good talking to you. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. It's nice to hear people, say that they like what you do. I'm glad you watch. You have a diner there called Wimpy that has all those signs. Yeah, there's a number of things. TGI Fridays has this kind of decor. I'm obviously inspired by that, and a lot of the like chain sit-down restaurants like TGI Fridays or other things, kind of do that, and that's how they kind of decorate their place. And so I've kind of done the same thing. Yeah, Rhonda's right, Tammy. We just there's no particular subject here. I don't go in and say, "Hey, we're going to talk about this today." It's just whatever people want to talk about. So, get a question? Who knows? Where we may go off on a tangent on that. Wouldn't be the first time. I mean, what have we talked about today? We've talked about metal signs. We've talked about the weather. We've talked about the earthquake in Turkey, RC cars, model trains, food. Yes, definitely food. Definitely food. So, what's your food question, Tammy? Because we haven't talked about food that much. At least in once in a while. Yeah, at least once. Hi, bye. Down at the end of the hall there. Oh, now he's coming. He's heard his name now. We'll be here, Tammy. I usually try and come in every week about this time. So if you don't make up something this time, you can think about it, come up with a great question, and be ready for next week. Yeah, always ready to talk about food. I think a lot of that too is probably because I do a lot of cooking vlogs. So it's a good opportunity to talk about the things that worked out or didn't work out, get a little insight onto what's going on or what might be going on. If you're so inclined, you can join the Facebook page there. Every once in a while, I put stuff up exclusively there. Yeah, that's a good question. How many of you tried something that I've made here that you really like, and what was it? Let's expand out the question a little bit. If you've made multiple things that I've tried here that look good, what was your favorite? No, I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl. Not interested. I'll go try and find something to vlog today. I bet you there won't be anybody out. That's the perfect kind of day. She's no good. Rhonda's made all of it, but nothing with Jello. So you haven't made all of it, then, have you really? Because I've done a couple of Jello recipes. I can understand though some people get creeped out by what Jello is. Can't eat Jello. I don't know if I go through life not being able to eat Jello. Actually, yeah, I probably could, but that cranberry Jello dessert my mom makes, that's to die for. Really, really good. That's one of my favorites. Um, the salsa recipe that we got from one of our viewers a year and a half or so ago, That's probably the one I make the most because I always have some of that in the fridge or freezer. I had some for breakfast this morning. Not that the recipe itself was that good, but it was such a great base that I could turn it into something I really like. Because I realized for the first time I was actually getting something that looked like what you get at a store. I don't know if I've ever seen black cherry jello. Yeah, well, and that's what you want to do. You know me. I like stuff that's radioactive hot, and so you're going to definitely, if you're not as into spice like I am, you're going to have to um, tone it down a little bit, or maybe even a lot. Those enchiladas I made a few weeks ago were really good. Huh? Yeah, I didn't know that, Yvonne. Interesting. I'll leave that to you to explain it to her, Logan, Rhonda. Told you it's something you'll never see in this house. Yeah, well, the dairy section with yogurt. Interesting. Yeah, pretty much, Yvonne. Pretty much. But I think there's a lot of things that we eat on a regular basis that if we actually knew where it came from, it would probably creep us out. Yeah, well, if you get sugar allergies, then that's another reason. Yeah, I don't think Rhonda's bothered by the sugar though. It's what it's made of that's given her the issue. Okay, thanks for stopping in, Tammy. It was good to meet you. Hope you show up again. We'll be back here in all likelihood next week. And I mean, I've hit my 2 hour mark anyway, so we're probably going to pull the plug on this one. So had a good day. Glad everyone stopped by and check out my vlogs. See you next time. Good night.